A few years ago, I went to the A3C conference and festival with my sister. A3C stands for All Three Coasts. It's a hip hop music festival, just amazing space to be in. And I learned a lot that weekend. It is about taking hip hop technology and different things and kind of bringing them together. I am on the technology side as a data engineer and someone interested in computer programming. And I also like music a lot. I like hip hop. I like all sorts of music. And hip hop is just the focus of this. So at that festival, I learned so many different things about hip hop industry, about the way some people became famous, the journeys they took, the way they saw themselves, and how mindset, motivation, visualization, the rags to riches journey, and I don't think they talked about it there at the festival, but something that I feel goes into is like the boasting and like jonesing a little bit, but more like the boasting aspect of it, about how you hype yourself up and how there are hype men. And then something they did bring up was branding. And I don't know if they brought it up intentionally, but from what I saw, I was like, wow, that is magnificent branding. And I had no idea. And I'm just like, wow, like, it's so interesting. So I'm just sharing about my love of hip hop and I guess some branding things and like things that stood out from going to A3C. And like, this was like a while ago. I can't remember the year, but I'm wearing the shirt from it. And it's just so interesting how I don't know, I feel like all of the things that I see like are very much related, so it's always interesting to me like finding those little connections. I'm Latia. I am a data engineer. I do like taking disparate data points and bringing them together. I've actually done StrengthsFinder and ideation, futuristic. No, it's actually number one is ideation, so like taking ideas, creating them, bringing them together. Strategic is my second, futuristic, positivity, and achiever. Those were my top 5. So like an amazing power combination of getting stuff done and strategizing. Actually, I have like a minimum, like I have some aspect of achiever, getting stuff done, but I have a lot of strategy thinking going on. I'm very analytical. Anyways, one of the things that I learned at that festival that I was just like, what? Was that 2 Chainz used to be called Titty Boy. And I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. I had no idea. And it's interesting because I remember 2 Chainz from some of his songs where he's like, 2 Chainz, but I got me a few on. Little things. I don't even know if I could tell you what the name of that song is, but to know that he went from Titty Boy to 2 Chainz and just the difference it made is just like, wow. One, why Titty Boy? I just don't understand. That to me definitely screams like Crybaby, but maybe it's something else, because like whenever I think of like titty, I think of like Major Payne, where he's like, pop the titty out the boy's mouth and let him grow up. And he's like, you call it nurturing and I call it neutering, and they're just arguing about that. And it also makes me think of, I was talking with one of my friends recently about hip hop and like, hey, if I become a rapper, what you got for me? Because this person always has opinions on all the things that I want to do. And I know that this person is like into hip hop culture and would have like way more knowledgeable opinions than I would. Because I'm just like, oh, it sounds like fun. Like, let's see, like, what would that look like? And like, I believe I can do it. And like, I'll put the work in. Maybe. We'll see. I'm still like, well, no, I actually really do want to make music. And I'll find the people and like learn about it and like do more research. But right now it's just like, all right, I'm up for the challenge. But when we were having a conversation, what I learned in that one was that I feel like Marshall Mathers, who became Slim Shady, started off as B Rabbit. So he started off as B Rabbit, then he became Slim Shady, and then he ended as Eminem. And I was just like, wow, I had no idea. Never would have guessed it. And that was just like fascinating because of like name changes and the importance of names and how impactful that they are in that space and just in general. Makes me also think of the Bible and how Abraham and Sarai, maybe, became Abraham and Sarah. It's just like, names are impactful. Also, I believe her name became Princess, and then his was like Father of all nations. So what we call ourselves and what people call us and the names that we use are just so meaningful and can shape perception. Something else that I really liked, there was a really heavy mindset, belief in yourself, confidence aspect to it, where if you believe in yourself, you stick to your vision, you do the work, you really focus on like knowing like it is possible for you, you can achieve great things, take your time. You know, don't you want to be the person who comes back in a year and you've accomplished all the goals that you set out to create from this meeting? It is definitely very seminar, conference in nature. That is the sum of a lot of the things that I go to, where they're always talking about how do you take this information, this work, this message, this motivation, this energy that you get from being around this many people for the same purpose and intention, and take it home and really apply it to your life. So what also comes up for me is like the concept of the mastermind and being on one accord and what happens in church. So from what I've seen in most churches, at least Christian, potentially non-denominational, I can't really speak to like anything outside my experience, but the churches that I go to, there tends to be a period of praise and worship where they encourage people to sing. They might put lyrics up. So now everyone is singing the same thing. You're moving to the same music. And there's usually like kind of, there might be a moment of prayer where it really like gets everyone like silence, we're focusing. And it's just those moments that are, hey everyone, like we're gonna get on the same accord is like what I hear it. But to me, I think it's like the same wavelength, the same vibration, the same energetic headspace. Like I want all of you to be present, focused on Jesus, just feel his presence. And it goes to what I believe is like related to the mastermind concept, where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. Where two or more are gathered together for a definite purpose, there's a third entity called the mastermind that is present. So a mastermind can appear when two or more people are coming together and their energy is aligned, their intention is aligned, their purpose is aligned. And churches, conferences, anything that is like ceremony, ritual in nature tends to have that kind of effect. So something that I've like just knew or know or learned about MCs are that even though we spell it EMCEE sometimes, it's also M.C period, or like there's an O, so it's master of ceremonies. So it is the person who manages the energy, manages how focused people are, gets engagement, makes sure people are paying attention when they need to. If people's energy are low, they bring it up. If it's high, they bring it down. Like they like let you be prepared for what's happening. And to me, it was interesting because I know someone was presenting and they were talking about they're a master of energy, because it's like energy management. Like we support the energy of the space and the container that is necessary for the presentations. And when it comes to a lot of like personal development work, spaces where you're left with a lot of information to improve your life, the biggest challenge is, how do you take this work home and make it a habit? How do you actually implement what you receive? Because I can make you feel good for 5 minutes a day. Well, no, like let's act like this isn't something where you could like repeat me and it's like that. Because like that's like, if I say the right things in the right way, then you listen every day, then yeah, subconsciously like, or self-talk wise or whatever, it's possible when there's a daily relationship and potentially accountability. So if someone were like commenting and like we were talking about like what they're up to and like every time I post a video they're like responding, then that's a different story. But a lot of times what happens is that you go to a seminar or event, it's, let's say, 3 to 5 days, and it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your life. You're so inspired, you're so excited, you have ideas and plans, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna crush it. And it could even be the first day of the event. You get all these nuggets. You go home, like, I'm tired, I go to sleep. So you're at the event, you're still not doing anything, but you got notes. So, okay, that's something. Day 2, still tired, don't do it. Day 3, you're like, meh, whatever, like, this is cool, great information, I'm happy, I'm excited, like, I'm definitely gonna take this home and I'm gonna do something with it. I'm definitely, like, tomorrow's the day. Then tomorrow comes and you don't do anything. And then it's like you keep not doing the things that you know to do because, like, you've learned it, you're practicing it, you have this opportunity, and a lot of times we just pass it up. And it's not intentional. It's not like we're like, oh, I just want to suck. I just want to get all the information and do nothing with it. But the challenge about motivation is that if it's externally focused or created, then we need that external source to keep us alive. So they become an IV, and it's like, sorry, like, as I think about it, I was like, yeah, here's my IV of motivation, and it's like going into my arm. Now I'm getting this life force of motivational energy as long as this IV is full. So once that IV is empty, you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't have any more motivation, I don't know what to do. And it's just like, no, you have it within you. All the motivation that you need, you can tap into at any time. And once you get to that place where you are the motivation and the self-starter in your life, oh, that's gonna be such a powerful place to be. But I guess it's like all three coasts, A3C, that festival was so much fun. And there were lots of other things that I like realized, well, like lots of mini revelations, seeing different people perform. We got to see the guy who was acting as Debo. Like, it was such a fun experience. And what I guess, like, what really stands out for me is, like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. There's always a process to get motivated, take action, take control of your life. And if you have the right messaging, the right branding, the right perspective, you can make anything happen. And once we find the way to, like, keep ourselves accountable, or even if you, like, let's say, I can't hold myself accountable, I can find an accountability buddy. There's always a solution to the challenges that we think can stop us if we allow them to. So once you're determined, you're motivated, your vision is high, and you're just, yeah, I'm fired up, that's when everything's gonna change. And it's gonna be amazing. And, like, you got this. You can figure it out. You know what you need. Just take the time and space to do so. And if you don't feel like you can solve it on your own, comment, let me know. I'll see if I can support you. And maybe we can have a conversation and give you some space to relax and do something amazing. I'm Latia. It's been fun. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.